All right, hello guys, here we are, hole number 5. This is going to be the hardest hole in the entire set to get. So first thing that I want to take a look at is kind of my range. If I really need to have the distance on this, it looks like I won't have to switch my bag up. I can just probably use bag 2, for instance. So other than that, let me just throw this on real quick. I think it's got some more distance just in case I need it. In terms of the wedge, we're looking at 30 accuracy and the short iron is 40 accuracy. The runner, so I still don't have anything with backspin in terms of a short iron, unfortunately. So ideally what I'd like to do is have some more topspin, and I'd like to use some Titans, but I really don't have the Titans to spare. So what I'll need to do here is just be a little bit thrifty. It would be ideal that if my opponent could secure the eagle, it could make me get a little bit more aggressive with my third shot than I probably might be able to do otherwise. But that's asking for a lot, especially in terms of rookie. This is going to be a very tough hole. This is the hardest hole on the entire set, in my opinion. And I am going to get to see my opponent first, which is going to help. So I'd like to pay attention, see what they do. Because this will help me judge the speed of how much I can do with this shot. Ideally, I do believe that, Titan is the way to go. But as you could see, I really don't have a lot to spend. And if I use a Titan, I want to make sure that I actually secure that eagle as well. You don't want to use a Titan and then not get your eagle. So well played by my opponent so far. And as I mentioned, I'm kind of on the fence about doing this. I'd like to, I guess since I need to kind of put together a guide for you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and use my one Titan. Because this is the one hole that I think, having that extra length can, really be the difference here. And I'm going to try to utilize my max curl, no overpower, essentially. So, and the curl, what it's going to do is just, try to keep me out of that right rough. So you can see my opponent didn't do that, but that's what I would recommend, just to kind of shoot it over here and stay away from this edge. And the farther you get it down here, the better. But I also have to be careful, especially for my first attempt, make sure I don't get too aggressive. But this is the one hole where, I can get eagle essentially just by threading it through here. And, locking it up would be nice because it's not going to be easy. But you can see I only have one Titan. So I know that for a fact, I'm going to need a couple more somehow. So, I might have to spend 180 gems. So I need to kind of just make sure that I keep building up these free chests because I may need to spend all this. And another thing here is I'll need to get kind of aggressive here in terms of power. I'm assuming that I'll probably have to go full here, which is going to make this shot just a little bit riskier. And it looks like I caught my perfect ball. That's going to be definitely nice to see because I think it'll keep me out of the bunker. It'll get me up here. I may not be close enough to be able to dunk this, but that's what I'd really like to do. Otherwise, you can see the wind is very straight. If I could just hit a perfect ball, I should be able to roll the pitch in normal as well. But I might not be close enough to do a dunk from that range. So the first thing that I'll typically do is just size the hole up, see is the ball smaller, is the cup smaller than one ring, or is one ring inside the entire cup. So that's the first thing that I'll do. But you can see now I'm out of those Titans, and I'll definitely need Titans for the final round. So you can see just a little bit tougher to get the eagle, but you can also lay up and get the eagle, as you can see. But my clubs really are a little bit lacking. You can see, as I was mentioning, if I go for this dunk, it's going to be a 1 out. But with the limited ball guide, I'd probably just still do it anyway. I mean, I didn't draw a very big wind. So with that being said, I'm just going to put it right on the front of the cup. And if I get my perfect ball, this should be in the cup. So basically just comes down to perfect ball timing. And of course not. So I missed perfect ball, and you can see as a result, I missed the dunk. So as I mentioned, when we're talking about dunks, that cup tolerance, you have to be inside a cup in terms of the ball. So I knew instantly that it was a miss. It just needed to be perfect and perfect ball only. And, it just seems like I just wasn't able to quite get the timing. So it cost me a stroke, and it cost me my Titan even worse, because I could have easily got this with a basic ball. I could have easily made birdie. Kind of the one thing that I'm kind of up against is I don't have a short iron that I can. If I had like 3 backspin or 4 backspin on some kind of short iron, I would just go for a dunk. I wouldn't even worry about hitting it up to where I just did on that hole. I'd just take my thorn and just go all in on it. So here you can see my opponent has a Guardian. That's going to make my life a lot harder. It really gives him a good opportunity. Well, I'm surprised he's doing all this. So let's see how it works out. It looks like this is a shot that he's been practicing, apparently, because that was a really strange, awkward way to go about shooting. But you can see that it actually worked out essentially perfect. And, in terms of what I have to do, I'm essentially in a lot of trouble. So, I'll try to do this. I don't think it's backspin that I need. If it is, it's very little. Just trying to think. It's very little. It's marginal backspin. So here I'm using 1 bar. Maybe too much. I really just not sure. And of course, a great ball. It's going to push it out towards the side. Probably isn't coming back enough. Well, we'll see. Looks pretty decent. So it looks like I'm able to edge out the win here. As I mentioned, I knew it was going to be kind of small backspin, and I was just able to kind of pull that off. So very fortunate there, because I went up against a Guardian, which I don't even have unlocked yet, or else it would be, see, the instant I unlock that, it goes straight in the bag. It's the best wood in the game there. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the eagle, but fortunately pulled off that match. So good luck there, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.